Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we'll be talking about Pocket Paragons, and this is published by Solus Game Studios.
Alright, so this game is a game where you're taking all these different characters. You're trying to either pick one if you want to do just a one-on-one game, or you can pick up to 3 characters and do a tournament mode. You're going to battle through these cards, trying to bring everybody's health points down, or else knock them out, execute them while they're resting, which is just bad form, right? While they're resting, you go chop their heads off. Let me show you how it plays. All right, to play Pocket Paragons, you're going to need to choose a character. Each character kind of has their own deck or hand of cards that goes along with them. So let's just pick one of these ones here. Let's choose this guy right here. All right, so what you're going to do is out of that deck, you're going to choose the character card as well as that character's ultimate ability. So now you've got those two out there. What you're left with is a hand of cards here. They all have different symbols as well as numbers. That's the damage that you're able to do to your opponent. They also have some special abilities here in the text, and they have certain things that they're going to counter, do a good job of countering. So basically, every turn, you are going to choose one of these cards, and you're going to play it face up. Your opponent's going to do the same thing. They might choose this, and they would choose that one. But basically, they would just play one of the cards from their hands, and you'd resolve whatever it is. If you were able to do damage to them, they're going to move their damage down on their little dial. I don't have a dial with me, but I'm going to use this little D10 here. So say they do 1 damage to us. I put that 1 up there. And then later on, they might make it a 2, etc., etc. If you ever get up to 10, you have eliminated the other opponent. Once you play a card, it is kind of discarded, kind of out of the round until later on. So that's what's out for now. Let's say we play this one next. It's going to do whatever it does. We're going to do this one over here next. But eventually we're going to want these cards back. So how do we get them back? We have a recharge card here. This is really important for a couple of reasons. First of all, once we play these and we want to get them back into our hand, this is how you do it. The only problem is just about every other character is going to have an execute card in their hand. Basically what this says is, when instead of doing a normal counter thing, if you play this card with this kind of red symbol here and has this execute logo down below here, when someone else has a sun, you immediately kill them off. You finish off all their hit points in one hit. If someone plays this, well, you have your recharge card out there. Yes, that's how the game is going to go. Basically, you're going to play these cards. You're going to keep them discarded until eventually you play a recharge. You're trying to either take down the opponent's health all the way down to 0, or you're trying to figure out when you think they might be playing their own recharge. At that point, you play your execute card, trying to catch them, and then in which case when they're defenseless, and you're able to knock them out entirely. Almost all your abilities you discard off to the side. However, everyone started with one. The ultimate ability, you're able to kind of build up energy as the game goes on. Every time you block someone, let's say you do not block but counter, like this one says, the Sonic Command card, it counters that green kind of book symbol there. If someone else were to play their version of that book symbol at the same time as when we played our card, we played our card there, what would happen is basically we would block them, their attack would not happen, and furthermore, we would gain 1 energy. Again, we're probably going to dial here, but we're going to use our little D4 there, showing that we now have 1 energy built up. We also get an energy when we play a recharge card, so that would bump us up to 2. And once we have enough energy, we can then activate our ultimate ability. So this one is a passive ability, meaning it's kind of just always out and about, it's always there. This one says your damaging abilities have attack +1. So whenever you damage someone, you're going to do an extra damage once this has been activated, which is fantastic. Some characters, rather than having a passive card that's kind of always out there, once they build up enough energy, it becomes like an active ability, just like your other cards. So this would go into your hand, and you'll be able to use it on future turns as a normal ability. So one game of this is basically your hand of cards versus your opponent's hand of cards. Again, you're trying to bring each other down to 0 health, or wait until you have that, that execute happening at the same time as a recharge, in which case you get a knockout. However, there's another way to play, which is a tournament, which I really enjoy. Basically, you choose 3 characters. What you're going to do is you're going to play one of them, and then you keep on going until that character is knocked out. And hopefully you knocked out one of their characters in the process before your character gets knocked out. But what you're going to do, after all is said and done, after your character gets knocked out, you're going to choose one of the cards that your character had. Maybe you really liked their blue ability, that one with the wings there. What you're going to do is you're going to set that aside. When we go to your next character, you would take out their blue wing symbol, and you would replace it with this one. So if this was our next character, we were knocked out, we could take out their blue card, substitute in our blue card, and now we've got, a cultivated hand here that we might be able to use to do really well the next round. if this character gets knocked out, same thing happens. This is going to be, let's say our new character is going to be this guy. But what we're going to do is we're going to take out the blue character, or the blue card that we had the first time, and let's say this orange one here. And then in this new character's deck, we're going to take out his blue, we're going to take out his orange, and substitute those in. So now again, we have kind of cultivated a brand new deck here of all these kind of new cards blended together, trying to find some really fun combos. So that way, our last and final guy is going to be really, really strong. Our opponent had the same options that we had. They were able to start the game with 3 different decks or 3 different hands and kind of make that second and third decks really, really strong. So that third round is going to be kind of a big old battle of the titans trying to figure out who's going to be the ultimate winner. That tournament mode takes a little bit longer than the one-on-one, the one deck versus one deck way, but I find it's really rewarding. I really enjoy the tournament style. The first person to knock out all 3 of their opponent's characters, either by way of hit points or by way of those executes when the opponent's resting, is going to win the game. So this game kind of gave me the vibe and the feeling of playing like a game like a Magic the Gathering or some other collectible card game, right? But the problem with a lot of those games is rarity. So if you really want your deck to be the best deck, you're going to need to have a whole bunch of these $20 cards and some $5 cards and maybe some $1,000 cards. Or, if you want to be competitive in a tournament environment, you need to have the rarest, best cards. Or even from a collection standpoint, you just want the rarest cards. Which is cool, no knock on that, except for not everybody can do that. Not everybody can play that way, and I'm one of those people. So this game kind of gave me a little bit of that vibe without having to tap into that rarity, situation. You could find cool combinations.
I can't stop thinking of My Little Ponies. Rarity.
Rarity, yeah.
Rarity. I just like her
and she
songs.
Talks like this.
Yeah.
Probably this.
Rarity is more like this.
Okay,
darling.
fine. She's the voice actor.
I'm sorry. No, you just keep saying Rarity and
Rarity,
My
Rarity.
Little Ponies is just in my head. Okay.
We need to My Little Ponies board game. I think there are some.
Are there?
We need to find them.
Okay.
But anyways, this is not that game, although there might be. What's happening is there's no rarity. You just can buy a packet. It's got a bunch of characters in it, and you can battle.
Yeah, and this is very simple to learn and to teach. This game kind of wants you to streamline it, and it did that. So you learn it right away, you're able to play it right away, and it kind of has that really fast motion to it.
Yeah, and one thing that I liked too is the tournament mode. You really want to play those 3 decks at once. First of all, it's a little bit longer, a little more satisfying for that reason, but also we need to take the cards out of one deck and put them into another little deck of the next character, and then the third and final one, you have 2 cards that you cultivated and made this one final deck with some really cool combos in it.
Yeah.
I love finding those different synergies and digging around for those, combining different characters, seeing what's going to work, what's not, and maybe you have to kind of pivot a little bit. Maybe you thought this was going to be a combo, but the character that you're playing against has some super crazy strength and you needed a different card than you thought you did. So I don't know. I like finding those cards and those combinations by combining those 3 decks in the tournament mode.
Yeah, and speaking of combos, there's also a lot of different packs that you can get with this, and I think there's packs coming up in the new year. So there's different ways to add variety to this game and add different characters and just get more combos with it.
All right, so don't be confused. This is not a Magic the Gathering replacement. That's the granddaddy of CCGs, right? But what it does so cool and so streamlined. This game is fast and it's easy, and finding those combinations is a lot of fun. And it doesn't take a lot of money to get. There's a low barrier to entry. You can just buy a pack and you're going out, you're dueling one another. So I think that this is a fun little system. I really enjoyed Pocket Paragons.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to us here, and then you can find us in all the places. On Facebook, we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. On Twitter, we are Ryan and Bethany 1, and on Instagram, we are Ryan and Bethany.
Everybody, thanks so much for watching. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.